AITA, for telling my entire family to leave when they showed up to my wedding? Me, male 27, and my wife, female 36, got married 2 weeks ago. I have a 10-year-old stepson. We have an incredibly strong bond. My wife is my whole world. I met her 2/5 years ago. She recently moved to my hometown. That's when I officially introduced her to my family and friends and announced our wedding date. My family, especially Mom, didn't take the news well. They didn't believe I was being serious. They called me crazy and refused to hear me out when I tried to explain. Didn't give my wife the chance to show them who she is. They've seen her as less than. Before the wedding, my mom sent me an email with a list of reasons why she thought I was making a mistake. 1. Age gap. 2. The fact I'm a doctor and my wife's childcare worker. 3. The fact she has a son. 4. No one in town knows her. 5. She's not good looking nor attractive, and Lord knows what else. But none of this mattered to me. I could make a list of 100 reasons why she's the one for me. Mom and family found wife's FB and started leaving nasty comments on every picture I'm in, accusing her of stealing/fooling their son, called her manipulative and a user. Mom said I'm not her son anymore. Called everyone I invited telling them to not show up at the wedding. Saying my family aren't approving of it. Wife and I were devastated after we got calls and emails from guests we've invited saying they won't come. We've put work and money for a venue, food, etc. I felt terrible when I saw my wife crying while looking at all the returned invitations. We decided to just have the wedding at my place with a few of our friends and wife's side of family. At the wedding, my brother-in-law approached me saying my family arrived and they were at the door. I was shocked. I saw Mom, Dad, sisters and aunts standing there saying they wanted to come celebrate with me but not my wife. They still didn't want to deal with her. I felt enraged. I told them they weren't allowed inside and that they needed to leave right then. My dad started berating me, calling me disrespectful for how I repay them for being graceful and deciding to come to my wedding. I started arguing with him and Mom, telling them I'd call the police if they won't leave. My aunt called me a jerk for mentioning the police and said a good person doesn't treat family like that. They left after minutes of arguing. Friends saw that and said I went too far with how I handled this and shouldn't have told my family to leave after they finally showed up to support me. They said I ruined my own wedding being resentful not letting this drop. My grandfather was mad since he arranged for my family to come and said I messed up by making a scene and not letting my family to come in. Blamed and shamed me for what I did and said I now owe them an apology. Not the butthole. Did these people think that your wife would leave or fade into the woodwork while they celebrated with you? The whole group is totally clueless to think that they can denigrate your wife, call her names, and then still show up for your wedding. Honestly, they probably planned/expected to ruin her day by 1. Showing up and ignoring her, thus upsetting her, and 2. Probably planned to distract original poster so much that they figured if they stayed in his face, he would inadvertently ignore his bride while dealing with them, further ruining her day. Edit. Oops, my bad. Not the butthole original poster. Yes, absolutely. The amount of disrespect they showed the couple is just awful. The amount of disrespect they showed the couple. It's mind-boggling. They think they can disrespect his fiancée in the run-up to the wedding, basically saying she's not good enough, and then have the audacity to show up and decide they are going to celebrate with original poster and not his wife. WTF? Op has just made a lifelong commitment to this woman and they think they will get priority over her? What a bunch of buttholes. And they want an apology? That's never going to happen. I think it was very strong of original poster to tell off his own family that he grew up with like this. These types of families can be manipulative and usually get away with guilt-tripping younger relatives into letting them have what they want. Props to original poster. This is so often overlooked. It is hard to get past the idea of family loyalty in a dysfunctional family. It is easy to see the right thing to do when you are standing outside the situation, but original poster was raised by these people. It must have taken incredible strength to send his family away, and he deserves so much credit for that. I'm guessing his wife is something really special. Not the butthole. Ever notice how family loyalty only runs in one direction? Towards entitled buttholes, never the other way around. That's only true in dysfunctional families. Functional families don't invoke the phrase family loyalty. That's what we seem to have here. Yeah, why has original poster not cut them off? I cut off parts of my family for certain lengths of time for the things they did and thought. Why be around completely toxic and trash people who make the human existence more scummy? People like that ruin the one life we all get. Ignore them, block them, move on, and don't think about it. Edit. By the way, this is in no way Op's fault, just saying, cut them off now, you will be happier. You and your wife deserve to be happy. Yeah, why has original poster not cut them off? He didn't think he needed to because his mother cut him off for not calling off the wedding. Op arranged another wedding for his wife and his family shat all over that. I'm pretty sure original poster isn't going to tolerate that and will go NC after this. I felt bad that friends felt that original poster went too far with his family and making a scene. Not sure how good these friends are. I would stand behind someone who is going through something tough, especially on their wedding day. Don't know, just my 2 copper pieces. Oh, and not the butthole. Not sure how good these friends are. I think we can all agree that those friends are not real friends and original poster is better off without them. Seriously, if I was that dude's friend I would have told him to go be with his wife and I will handle it. Op has a spine and wouldn't allow his family to disrespect his wife and stepson. Hopefully he keeps it up and goes NC. Op sounds nothing like the rest of his mother's side of the family and that's a good thing. I bet if he has a child with his wife, his family will want to play happy grandparents to that child, while totally ignoring his stepchild. NC with these buttholes is definitely the way to go. This right here. The minute he becomes a father. Y'all might want to think of moving before that happens, if y'all intend on it. He became a father the minute he married. Stepfathers are fathers, too. By the way, Op, you are totally not the butthole. I hope you and your family are doing well, I mean your wife and child. Edit. Thank you, Jedi Elephant 37, for the award. They sound like a bunch of small-town narrow-minded hicks. Point 4 on their list of complaints reinforces that. Was original poster supposed to only marry someone he went to high school with? A cousin? I totally support original poster threatening to call the cops on his hypocritical family for showing up at the door to celebrate after publicly disowning him, defaming his fiancée online, and manipulating almost everyone he knew into pulling out of the wedding. As a doctor, original poster should be easily able to get a job anywhere in the country and his wife's job skills are also in demand everywhere. He and his new family should move far away from his pathetic and toxic old family as soon as possible and cut them completely from his life. In a new city on the other side of the country, they will make new friends and flourish, well away from the disrespect and toxicity. Sounds like my ex. Let his sister walk all over me and expected me to deal with her despite telling him several times that was his job. Nope. While I agree with older relatives guilt-tripping younger, Op's a doctor, he can't be that young. Edit. Double-checked ages. Op's at most a year out of medical school if in US, hasn't completed residency even. If anything, Op's wife is the primary money source in their family right now, adding extra stupidity to the family complaints. For real. And their logic is flawed. What are you celebrating if you don't approve of the marriage? Lamau. Because they are deluded buttholes who think that showing up means they are supporting original poster and they were hoping that he'd be so spineless and happy to see them, that he'd ignore his new wife. Original poster schooled them on what a family actually means. And also tell people not to go to the wedding. I'd love to know why they would want to celebrate with original poster because they would essentially be celebrating him getting married. They now know original poster will not stand for their crap and they are butthurt over it. And also tell people not to go to the wedding. That stood out to me too. Why would people who had already agreed to go to the wedding not go because mother-in-law told them not to? Are they afraid of her? Did she tell them a whole pack of lies? This whole thing is a mess and original poster is better off out of it. Yeah, these types of mothers are usually the matriarch of the family and rule with fear and manipulation. Yes, they are essentially afraid of disobeying her because they know the consequences will be enduring her wrath. While she's an adult, people like her usually throw adult tantrums and make everyone miserable. Original poster needs to go on r/raised by narcissists, Reddit link. I strongly suspect this is a culture thing. If the people are from India, or the Middle East, I can easily see this happening. It's crazy to me that they had the balls to say that's not how you treat family, while simultaneously refusing to acknowledge the fact that Op's wife is now family lol. Don't forget that they basically disowned him. Mom told him he's not her son anymore. So, they're not family. They're a bunch of trespassers intent on disrupting his wedding and reception. You're right, it's not okay to treat family like that, but since Mom's name said I'm no longer her son, we're not family anymore. Right? They tried to whine at him, this isn't how you treat family. After they very much did not treat him and his wife as family. Controlling Hippocrates, the lot of them. Oh, they definitely planned on ruining the wedding day. I would go no contact with your family, they are obsessed with ruining your private life. I bet they'd act this way no matter who the bride was. Not the butthole. Yay. They ruined it by making everyone not come, and when they learned that the wedding was still happening they hatched a plan to destroy that too. Or the age-old show up and pour a drink on her dress. I'm surprised the mom didn't show up in a wedding dress, while getting to feel magnanimous because they're being so graceful. Or 3, hijack the event and turn it into an intervention. Don't forget making a scene at some point. Maybe a crafty speech or something. Exactly what I was thinking. Not the butthole. Or they showed up for the free food and liquor. They're not family anymore, though that's the biggest thing. The mom disowned him and convinced the rest of the family to abandon him on a momentous occasion, which means they weren't family. Cut them out of your lives and move somewhere nicer. Original poster, you're not the butthole, your ex-family is. Mom ruined their initial wedding, ruined the improvised one, and someone original poster is at fault? What is wrong with these people? See, this is the problem with us. We keep trying to apply logic to idiots. People like Op's family, you cannot use logic with. Trying to understand them is like trying to understand kid babble. Or understand what a bark means. Except, those two things serve more purpose than the babbling of these idiots. Oh, I understand them all right. Everything has to be on their terms. Anything else is disrespect to the family. Boundaries aren't a thing, and they think they have the right to dictate other family members' lives. The mom cut off her son because he had the audacity to marry someone he loves, even though she didn't approve. Then when mom gracefully decided to celebrate with original poster, but not the wife, he further disrespected her by threatening to call the cops. People like that are selfish, toxic buttholes, and I'm so glad original poster isn't like the rest of them. I really hope he goes NC and enjoys married life with his chosen family. Not just that, but from a practical standpoint, they all canceled the large wedding that had the food and other resources available for a larger amount of people. So, what does the couple do? Downsize the ceremony to accommodate a smaller number of people. So when they all show up unresped, all that food, and space, etc. they had ready for everyone before is no longer available. That's another way to ruin what ceremony there was. This was a calculated move by the family, on multiple fronts, to ruin this for original poster and their wife. Not the butthole. And the wife is family now, and look at how they think they should treat her. I like that the aunt used the "this isn't how a good person treats their family" line because she needs that thrown right back in her face. Also, WTF is up with his friends calling him the First of all, who asked you? Please mind your own business. This is my family and I handle them like this because I know them. The nerve. Not the butthole. A lot of this type are family worshippers, and family can do no wrong. Even when they are despicable. Too much snuffling after the institution. Not the butthole. You handled the situation properly. How exactly was your family planning to celebrate your marriage if they didn't want your wife to participate? It sounds more like they were planning some kind of crazy intervention instead. The only way they should have been acknowledged is if the family showed up to apologize profusely and agree to give your wife a chance. Any other discussion is cut off by a shut front door. Totally agree, not the butthole. And I'm really sorry for your family overstepping so many boundaries and acting entitled, and your friend enabling their awful behavior. Makes me so mad when people just gang up like that and then demand apology. Mine family used to gang up and scapegoat me like that too. Before I cut them out. Not to mention, when you plan a wedding you do so based upon RSVPs. They all said they weren't coming, so why would they even think there was enough room food, and drink prepared for them. I'd have been beyond furious. Exactly. Original poster was celebrating his marriage to his so and the family thinks he's going to push her aside and let them come and celebrate with just him. All while ignoring her or making sparky remarks. They just wanted to ruin her day and are pissed they couldn't. Honestly, he seems like the only one in his family with a spine. How cowardly to be a mom, dad, sibling, cousin, etc. And let them treat you, and your wife that way. F the all of them. I'd cut contact for a few years over that. Glad I'm not the original poster because I would gotten in trouble had they said they wanted to celebrate with me, but exclude my wife. Screw the whole lot of them. What are they even celebrating in this case? The plan was to ruin the wedding for the bride, and thus end the marriage before it even began. Denigrate. I just saw this word for the first time in my life the other day, on Reddit. Isn't there some rule that once you see/learn a new word, you'll immediately see it again soon after? Yep, it's called the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, or this. Web link. If what original poster said is true, seems like they clearly don't see the irony of their actions. For example, the aunt said a good person doesn't treat family like that while the mom said original poster is not her son anymore and they all worked hard to get a majority of the people to boycott the wedding. In retrospect, I think original poster would be glad to see these reactions early on so that you know exactly how they feel about it instead of them hiding their feelings behind their fake smiles. It's painful now, but at least you know the truth. Not the butthole. I wouldn't have just threatened, I'd have called the cops and called them all trespassers, because that's precisely what they were doing. How the hell do you celebrate the marriage with only one partner? That doesn't even make any sense. They were just there to be rude and cause problems. Do what my husband's family did. Show up terribly dressed, openly sob during the ceremony, pitch a fit at some point, and refuse to interact with anyone at the reception, just glare at them all. That was how my marriage was celebrated by my in-laws. I can only hope that original poster will not accept his family back unless they crawl on their knees and sincerely apologize to him and his wife, and make a public statement on social media. My husband's family at least had the decency to wait until much later to corner me and accuse me of tricking him into marriage at various times. I got that too. It took me 40 years, but I finally went no contact with them. I hate I wasted so much time on them and let them abuse my kids. It only took till our honeymoon with my ex. And I quote, "Get that marriage annulled before she takes you for half your money." Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.